What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Humble back at you guys with another video. So it seems to be that AJ Brown now is becoming the scapegoat for the season in terms of the Eagles' offensive performances and the playoff game in which AJ dropped two critical third down catches that would have extended the drive against the 49ers. Objectively speaking, he should have caught both of those balls. They were both catchable passes. But to completely and utterly dismiss Jalen Hurts' performance is very disingenuous of a lot of media heads. Stephen A. Smith, Shannon himself. Shannon called Jalen out briefly, but he's targeted more so AJ Brown, because AJ came out and talked about the offensive woes on the team. He publicly put out information about how the offense struggled, how things were not going right, and how the defense shouldn't be forced to carry the other side of the ball when it's their job to put points on the board. Was he wrong for coming out public? Absolutely. But Shannon knows, like any other player, you have certain people on the team that will come out and say things. The only problem with that is if they don't hold up their end of the bargain with performance, they're going to be the ones scrutinized. That's why I said before, is he the scapegoat? Because it seems like now, I looked at his numbers this year. He had 78 receptions for 1,003 yards and 7 touchdowns. Last year, he had 88 receptions for 1,079 yards and 7 touchdowns. 23 and 22, he went for 1,400 yards respectively, over 85 catches. And 23, he had 11 touchdowns. 22, he had 14. So he was a big focal point of the offense at 22 and 23. Once they acquired Saquon, he became the third wheel. That's what he was. He became the third wheel in the offense. It's Jalen, Saquon, AJ, the third wheel. Because he's the most vocal, he's taking the heat. And it didn't make it any easier or any better looking on his part that he left the media hanging after the game. He just walked out the locker room and completely went home. That made it even worse, because again, like Shannon has said, when he was upset in the past, he would speak to the media. However, I will say this though, people have to be very objective when it comes to certain players, because they're making this all about AJ, all about him leaving, all about him being done in Philly. How many more players actually feel like this? It's more than just AJ. AJ has been very vocal about his position, but I'm pretty sure a lot of guys are starting to look at the bigger picture here. Yeah, you won a Super Bowl. Like that idiot that was on Twitter yesterday told me, oh, he won a Super Bowl. Did the team not win that too? Or was it a Jalen award? Was it a Jalen award completely? Because in that Super Bowl, go look at his numbers. He threw the ball, I think, 30 times in that game because they were forced to throw the ball because they had shut down Saquon completely. Their entire defense focused on 26. They did not want him to do what he did to the Commanders, and I can't remember the other the divisional round they had, who they played. But he decimated both of those teams in the playoffs en route to their Super Bowl. So they did not want, the Kansas City Chiefs did not want Saquon to go off for 200 or 170 some yards with 2 touchdowns, and he would win the MVP easily. They wouldn't even look Jalen Hurts' way. But because he's the quarterback and people don't want him to take that kind of heat, Philly fans and other media members alike are not talking about what he did or how he played in the playoff game. The only person that has come out is LaShawn McCoy, but we know he's as shady as a 2 Live Bill as well, because he's been on sound bites in the past supporting Jalen, rack, stock, and barrel. He said that Jalen was his guy, that he believed in Jalen. Now all of a sudden, he needs Jalen to be special. Now all of a sudden, they run basic offense because Jalen can't do exotic stuff. But you knew this from jump. When y'all had Kellen Moore, he ran exotic plays, but it wasn't to what Jalen had to figure it out. He made it very simple. He did not throw a lot at Jalen Hurts when he was there. That did not happen. It still was a bland offense. The only thing that changed was the fact that they had got Saquon, and Saquon was on a mission to prove that he was not washed up goods from the Giants. He wanted the Giants to see they made a drastic mistake by not paying him. And they did make that mistake, and they have to live with it. But that's what it was. But to come out here and make every damn other headline about AJ Brown, it's just ridiculous. The man played his part in that loss, no doubt. He's one of the key pieces. But last I checked, Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. He's the one that dictates the flow of the offense. And you saw multiple times in the second half, he could not get them going. He couldn't do it. But you want to blame AJ for dropping an over the middle pass, a downfield pass that was slightly in front of him, and they said he had to dive for it. Should he have dove? Absolutely. But hey, everybody don't have the same mindset in the playoffs. They think they got another week apparently, but he didn't dive and he missed it by an inch. Literally right there in front of him. All he do was dive and he would have caught it, because the safety can't do nothing to you. Neither can the corner. But they made it about what he did not do. It wasn't talked about what Jalen Hurts did. It's never going to be talked about, because Jalen don't say things to get the media in uproar. He says the corporate PR type stuff to keep his name out of the criticism world of social media and the media spotlight. Kudos to him, but you have to call a spade a spade. AJ is the reason why Jalen was able to make those throws look so easy, because AJ was going up making those catches. So was Devontae Smith though, but AJ Brown made his life a lot easier. Now all of a sudden he's the reason why Philly lost. He's the reason why they're going home. No. The entire offense looked like and Jalen Hurts is the middle of that So don't sit here and completely write off AJ as if it's only his fault. It wasn't. Give blame what blame is due. That I can't respect what people are doing, especially Stephen A. basically completely destroying AJ Brown's credibility about the game, but then he omits the fact that Jalen Hurts was a big piece of that, because he has the ball in his hand 99.9% of the time, and he dictates who will get the ball and who won't. And AJ had 7 targets in that game. He caught 3 balls, he dropped 4. That means he wasn't even fed a whole lot in that game. Dallas Goedert was. Their tight end got more targets and more receptions than AJ Brown in that game. That's a tall telling fact right there. But we're not going to talk about that because it don't fit the narrative. It's pathetic is what it is though. So people need to quit this. I think AJ is done with Philly, and rightfully so. He got his ring, he going to move on. Now I want to see what happens when he doesn't have that security blanket out there, because Devontae Smith is a world beater. But we know Devontae wasn't taking on DB number 1, was he? No, he wasn't. He was taking on DB number 2. Now, when you become the number 1 guy, we'll see how you fend against guys that are going to be AJ Terrell, a Stanley Jr., those type of guys that will be in your face every single Sunday moving forward, going against you when Jalen be looking to you first. When he's not handing the ball to Saquon, he can be looking at Devontae. We'll see how he fares. We're going to see. But it's unfair to give all this blame to AJ. She did make those catches, yes, but people are human, correct? And it is the playoffs, and things do happen. But let's be real here. You could see his production sliding because of the way the offense was being centered around the run game completely. How you go from he had 113 receptions in 2022 all the way down to 78 in 2025. That's a tall telling statistic right there. And he did not get more than 14 touchdowns in his tenure in Philly. I think Terrell Owens got more than he did. I think Terrell got 15 in his 1 year there. AJ should have got featured a lot more than what he was. But heavy is the head that wears the crown. Nonetheless, guys, let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, because I gotta get out of here and get the wife her food, whatever she wants. And I got another good video for you guys. I'm gonna be talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars reporter that's went viral. And I'll give you my input about that. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Peace.